Hi, so today I'm going to take you through our 4th and 5th days of science class with Miss Webb. And I'm just going to walk you through our modules because everything that you need to keep up is there. So if you ever have connection issues or if you miss a day because you're traveling or whatever the reason, you're going to be much better off, and I expect you to follow along in the module for the day. So it's always posted by the time you make it to class. So here we go. We're going to go down to module 4. So this is going to cover module 4, which is about asking testable questions, and module 5, which is about writing a hypothesis for your question. So we have a warm-up for module 4. It is a review of the scientific method, so you need to fill that out. And then we have one of the trickiest things that we do in this class, which is copying the notes. So I'm going to walk you through how to do this. You click on my link, and then you go to File, Make a Copy. And then in this box, you got to do two things. First off, you have to make sure it says Folder Unit 1 Science Rules. So to get to this, it's going to say My Drive first. Then you got to go into your 2020, 2021 folder, find whatever science class period you have, and go into your science rules folder. And as you can see, I have a lot of copies of the notes. You're going to select this one and make sure it says File, Folder Unit 1 Science Rules. And then you can go ahead and delete the words copy of. This is your copy now. And then you can write your name here. Then click OK, and you get a new screen. Now, the next step is very important. You have to X out of the first screen. So you only have one copy of the notes open, and it's your copy. You don't see anybody else's little Google account bubble up here. So that means nobody can edit yours. I can see it, but nobody can edit yours. So you're going to go ahead and put your name here. And whatever class period you have, I'll say is period 5. Okay, so here we have the essential question. So I go ahead and give you a picture of the essential question. The question is, how do I write a good testable question and hypothesis? So you're going to put that here, and it doesn't have to be blue. Okay, now I'm not going to do the whole notes with you, but I am going to show you where you can get the answers. So in our notes, we have a bunch of fill in the blanks, and all of those blanks correspond to what you see on writing a testable question. And so this is just the next section in the module. You can really keep yourself on track if you just keep going to the bottom and clicking next. So what is writing a testable question all about? Here we have what a testable question is. 3 question formats. Notice they all end in question marks. We have a reminder that variables must go in these blanks, and then we have some examples. So you should pause the video and fill out your note sheet now, and you'll end where there is this dark black line going across the page. Okay, then we're clicking next, and this part you can skip if you're doing this after or outside of the Zoom class, because this was something we did in class on a Padlet. And this part you can't skip. So we did this in small breakout rooms, but this is a grade no matter if you were in the class or not. So you are going to have to take this 5-question quiz, and you are just choosing which one is a better testable question. All right, so I am just going to submit my quiz with some blanks and move over here. Okay, and I'm just going to, oh, they were all wrong. That's because I didn't put any answers. Now this was our exit ticket. So this you're gonna do all on your own. It is 6 questions. However, the first 5 questions are easy. You're just voting on whether whether the question you're given is testable or not. The 6th question is about an experiment that we're getting ready to do at home. So we're getting ready to come up with an experiment, come up with a question that we can do an experiment to answer. So this is where you put your ideas. 1 question using, does changing blank affect blank with a question mark at the end? So that's the format that you need to stick to for it to definitely be a good testable question. So think about what you have in your house and what you'd like your experiment to be about. Okay, so let's check. Did we do the whole module? Yes, so that was everything in the module, especially paying attention to testable question, group practice, and the exit ticket. Now we're gonna go through module number 5. So module 5 looks long, but that's just because of our homework explaining about our different options for the experiment. So we have a warm-up, it's a review of the previous module, testable questions. And then we have some directions to get out your notes. Now, if you're just doing this all in one sitting, you don't have to do this because you already have your notes and they're right here. So this next section of our video, the next section of our module is covering the second half of this page of notes. So everything about hypothesis, all the way down to the summary box. So I'm clicking next. And here is the note page. So just like before, you're going to find the missing information in your notes. The hypothesis is what you blank the blank of your experiment to be, and you're going to write in these blanks what the notes tell us. So you're going to fill in blanks here, you're going to fill in blanks here, and then you're going to fill in the examples. So one thing that students were struggling with is the examples are on the next page in the Google document. So you have to scroll down to find the section for examples. And then finally, we discussed in class, is this a good hypothesis? More sun makes plants grow more. And the answer here is no. It's not a good hypothesis because it's not using this if, then format. So we definitely want to stick to if. So for example, if we give plants more sun, then they will grow more. That's a good hypothesis. All right, and then in class we played Kahoot. You're gonna skip that. And then we did an exit ticket. So we have a 3-question exit ticket. One is multiple choice. The other 2, you have to write your own hypothesis. So we're keeping in mind that if then statement is important. All right. Finally, oops, I have 2 exit tickets on here next. Finally, you get to the homework. So this is extremely important. This explains a little bit about our at-home experiment. Now, your homework isn't to just go out and do your experiment and come back with it all done. Your homework is just to think about what you think you might want to do. So there's 2 questions. Describe what you want to do for your at-home experiment, and then check around your house for the materials you will need. Are there any materials that you don't already have? If so, what are they? So I really need you to be thinking now about what you're going to need in order to answer the question or do the experiment that you want to do, because that's going to be our biggest obstacle is, do we have the stuff? So now how are you going to come up with an experiment? Well, I went ahead and gave you 3 options in the bottom of the module. Okay, so my experiment option 1. This is my favorite. This is one I hope you do. Choose your own adventure. So this means you are going to come up with your own experiment based on the materials you have available, as long as it is safe, takes 5 days or less, and has results that can be counted or measured. If you need help, I have this awesome website linked here. This is a great website. It's just all about helping you figure out and do science projects, okay? So if you read around here and play around with this, you can find some great ideas. Option 2. Option 2 is something we usually do in class around this time of year, and it has to do with growing seeds. So seeds are easy to find. In fact, dry beans from the grocery store that look like this, a bag of beans, not a can, those are seeds. So you can just use that. You don't need that many. So, and these beans are really cheap. Other than that, you just need a Ziploc bag, a ruler, and some water. So this one's really easy. Option 3 is a little bit more challenging and definitely requires more ingredients. It's just as interesting, if not more interesting. It's very short. It has to do with feeding yeast and watching what happens. So this is a really interesting one, but if you can't go to the grocery store over the weekend and get some of these ingredients, then you might not be able to do it. So those are 3 options. I really encourage you to go with option 1, and that covers days 4 and 5 of 7th grade science with Miss Webb. Thanks for watching.